Peace, peace, peace. Welcome to the Scrap and Roll MMA podcast. I'm your host, Sky. Got your host, Jace, in the building. The other two guys are MIA. We don't know where they are. No, for real. Damien is getting over, the COVID.
You say he got VD? What? Damn. Another nigga down. Damn.
If y'all remember, he went to UFC 291 and he wasn't here the week afterwards, so he ended up getting sick from all y'all little nasties inside of Salt Lake. And then CJ has football practice.
Wouldn't it be him inside the nasties in Salt Lake? Nah, I'm just playing. I know he's married.
Yeah. Hey, he gonna be watching this. He gonna come back with some vengeance next week.
Just bring it. Shout out to The Rock.
Yeah. Shout out to you with the Israel Adesanya nails. God, they're gonna make your fan base turn on you, Jace.
Hey, shout out to everybody in Des Moines, Iowa. Made a lot of new friends out there. Was out there for emo night. It was a vibe. Thank you all for the hospitality as well. Quick shout out to the world's greatest team, Man U. Start the season this year. Let's go.
Yeah, luckily, I don't think anybody but you watches football or soccer on the pod.
United till I die.
Wow, how cool!
I think my next tattoo will be Kobe.
Okay, now wait a goddamn minute. There's no way. There's no way.
Ooh. Nah.
That would be the fakest thing in the world. Like honestly, Jason and I had to be growing up in San Diego. I mean, most people from San Diego are Laker fans, but we were not. And we hated the Lakers and we hated Kobe Bryant specifically. Like, not as a human, but as a basketball player, because he was that dude. And we just hated him. We hated the Lakers. And so, like, when he passed away, RIP, I remember, like, Jace called me and was like, oh, my God, did you see? And we were talking about it. And we were like, damn. Like, both of us like, damn. Like, we spent all these years hating Kobe Bryant.
Kobe's the man. I love that dude. Yeah. I love watching his interviews, talking about like different players or different things he would see. Or, I was watching this one the other day talking about how he read from cover to cover the official referee book to gain an advantage. Wild.
Okay. I wonder how many MMA fighters are doing that. Like, how many MMA fighters are actually sitting down, reading the criteria, the scoring criteria, going into that fight knowing exactly what the judges should be looking for. That's that Mamba mentality.
And maybe they should, right? Because, or maybe us as MMA fans, because we're always left confused, especially I think now, and I think you agree with this, the biggest debate is control versus damage, and which one weighs more. Funny
story. I actually did. I want to say earlier this year, maybe late last year, I did go. It's only like 4 pages. Like, I actually read the fucking paper. It's very easy to read. The rules are very straightforward, yet somehow we keep scoring things differently. I mean, it's insane. I don't know what they want. I did see that they added 3 new rules. I'm actually happy that you brought that up. Because they did add maybe some moderations to the rules. So like one new rule is if a foul has been committed that leads to a cut man may come in the cage mid-round to treat the cut. This rule has been set because a fighter may get disadvantaged by a foul. So if a cut happens due to a foul, cut man can come in now. The second rule is a fighter that has made a foul will not get an advantageous position back, but will stay in a disadvantaged position if that was the case before the foul. So if you grab an offense, hey, my boy, that's a foul. You going down to the ground. Like, they're not going to stand y'all up. An instance what actually ended up happening, to Kamaru's demise. And then this one, which I thought was already a rule, but I guess it's not, a damp or cold towel may be used to treat an eye poke after the timeout has been called. Yeah. And a doctor can no longer, sometimes the doctors come in and instantly they're like, can you see? No, I just got poked in the eye 2 seconds ago. I can't see. They have to wait a minute and a half to ask if the person can see, because it usually takes about a minute and a half for some type of
me to get done.
Huh?
Me to get done. Shout out to all my dudes out there under 2. Hey, yo, big ups to Brooklyn. I don't blame me, though. I blame the box.
Hey, you know what? Last week's pod, if y'all didn't check out last week's pod, run last week's pod back. Because me, Jace, and CJ had a ball. Like everybody in the comments was like, yo, this episode is super good. So we appreciate it. This weekend we had Nate Diaz taking on Jake Paul. At the same time, Cory Sandhagen taking on Rob Font. Let's start with Nate and Jake because, you know, that was the big spectacle this weekend. Did you watch the fight?
Yes, I watched the fight. Try not to fall asleep. It really, I don't even think there's like a thing to even talk about the fight. Like, who cares? I think for me, I'm take my money for them actually doing it in MMA.
Now, this is what I want to get into. Who do you think wins?
That was me on Saturday night.
Yeah. I want to get into. Yeah. Shout out to Idaho?
Iowa.
Yeah. No confessions being made here.
Shout out.
Idaho, no confessions. Oh, you know.
I'm fucking dead. No, but that, you know, I listen, hot take. Jake Paul gets it done in MMA.
Hot take. I'm in agreement.
Can we mark down the date and time of me and you actually agreeing on a hot take?
Listen, I'm terrified that we might get struck by lightning.
Facts. Big facts.
I thought I was going to be the only one to come on here and be like, hot take, Jake Paul gets it done. There's weight classes for a reason.
Facts. And not only that, I just think that, like, he hits harder and people forget, like, he has a wrestling base. You know what I mean? So what's Nate path? Probably to sub him? You know what I mean? Besides him trying to sub him, I don't know his path to victory.
Yeah. Standing on the feet, 4-ounce gloves, bop, bop. We see what it looked like on the feet, you know, and it's not to say that we want Nate to, I want Nate to win. But when I look at it, I'm not one of those people that's just like, oh yeah, like 100% Nate, he's going to get it done. I'm like, Nate Bear, like, you could tell that he had to just eat and work his way up to just eating a whole bunch to make 185. Jake had to cut to 185. So he was in there, he was much bigger. And now you're talking about MMA. Like, he's going to be at least like 200 pounds when they're in there fighting. And Nate is probably going to be, you know, still 185, maybe 190, maybe. I mean, I don't think it's going to be what people think it's going to be. I don't think the fight happens either.
Oh, I think the fight 100% happens. Let me ask you this, though. Regardless of who do you think wins the fight, how do you feel about just the spectacle of it? Like I'm so much more intrigued. It's kind of how I feel if I wish that Tyson and Ngannou were fighting with like UFC or like 4-ounce gloves, right? Mm-hmm. Because that adds intrigue to me.
Yeah.
You know, I knew how that fight was going to play out. I mean, shout out to Nate, though, because I thought he was going to just get knocked out. He survived.
First round was terrifying.
Yeah. Shout out to Nate and the guillotine, like, you know. But yeah, I just think like the spectacle of it. Listen, I know this isn't popular to say, but I'm that dude who I don't give a fuck about being popular because I know I'm that dude. Shout out to myself. I love the Paul brothers. I love the Paul brothers. I love what they're doing for fighting. Because at the end of the day, you know, me and Sky is talking about this numerous times. In general, fighting is a poor person sport. You know, you come from very poor, non-affluent families, and you're trying to fight to make it big. And the Paul brothers got money. They got money, and they're still fucking putting themselves out there. And that's even a bigger thing, right? We live in a social media age today where if you get knocked out within 3.2 seconds, there's a meme or a reel about it. And you can say, oh, they're hand picking, blah, 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 blah. Maybe so, but still, shit happens. You know, one punch and then you're on a reel and they're just reel and reel and reel.
Forever.
So, forever. forever. Shout out to Ben Askren. Like,
shout out to Tyron Woodley. Just want to see a dead body.
Fucking the floor, you know. So I love the Paul brothers. I think that Jake Paul runs through choo Nate Diaz personally.
For me, two things I want to touch on. First thing being, I love the fact that if you guys were listening to the commentary, first of all, Sean Porter is completely just stupid when it comes to MMA. Like, he has no idea what he's talking about. And he, like, at one point when Nate actually had a good round that he won, like, he was like, Compton. It's like, dude, it's Stockton. Like, please don't do like, what? Did you just say Compton? Like, what are we talking about here? Like, he had no idea who Nate was, like, really to the core, And so that was kind of frustrating. But one thing that he said, and I urge everybody, like, if you've never been to a Nate Diaz fight, go to a Nate Diaz fight. I would imagine the only thing louder is a Conor McGregor fight, which is why I now want to go. But like when Nate walked out, you could feel, like, even through the TV, the energy. And like I said, I've seen him twice. The place goes absolutely insane. Sean Porter, all the boxer commentators that were there, they were like, oh shit. Like, we've never heard anything like this. Like, even last week when Crawford versus Spence, even when they walked out, like, it was nothing like this. I'm like, because y'all don't, the MMA crowd, in my opinion, is just unmatched. It's unmatched. We get there from the start of the fight. If you go back and you look, like, all the fights, the MMA crowd was there. They were there. In boxing, there's nobody there until the main event. Like, nobody.
Cool kids. So let me ask you this, because I can't even fucking explain it. What is the lure of Nate Diaz, right? Like, the guy has won, I think, one of his past 6 or 7. You know what I mean?
I didn't tell you.
No one fucking cares. Everyone still loves, like, what is it about Nate that he just strikes a chord in so many people where they don't give a fuck? They are showing up saying Nate Diaz Army no matter what. The only thing that reminds me of it is, like, in soccer, when you have, like, not even big clubs, but small clubs, and they know they're about to get pounded out. And still, it's like, I am showing up to support. Can you explain it?
I think that I really think it's just their attitude. People just fuck with the Diaz brothers' attitude. They are against the establishment, right? They're like, F the establishment, like, they have that persona, even though in the background, like, they're still cool with Dana, like, they're over here getting drinks and stuff. But, like, they just have that attitude that fight fans are drawn to, and they don't have to go the extreme route. They come off very non-caring. They're doing little as possible. They're barely talking in the pressers. They're barely doing anything. And yet all he has to do is flex. All he got to do is give the bird. All he has to do, and, like, people are going insane. Less is more. Less is more.
Insane. And, like, even when they do talk and they're 8 words, like, they're not articulate. You can barely, like, I need subtitles from that. Yeah, man, what the fuck did you just say, my guy? Like, is this CTE? I have no idea.
And I think a large part of them embracing the marijuana culture early, really, because, like, it was such a taboo thing. Obviously, as we know, Nick got suspended 5 fucking years. Like, that pretty much ruined his career, getting suspended 5 years for something that's completely legal now. Like, it's ridiculous, right? But, like, that culture, like, them suspending them, like, that caused, like, that uproar of, like, wanting to support them. Then that allowed Nate to kind of come in and really do his thing. And then when you take out the man, Conor McGregor, like, hey, and you get on the mic, I'm not surprised, motherfucker. Like, what?
Or even before even fought Conor. Yeah. This motherfucker's taking everything I worked for, like, rent free.
Yeah. Rent free moment. So it's just their persona.
So wait, hold on. It just popped in mind. I got to ask. Out of those 2 moments, which one do you think is better?
I'm not surprised, because it comes after choking out the man. Choking out the man that was running through the division. The man that I just called out.
So is that bigger, or Conor, the double champ, does what the double champ wants to do?
I think for the casual fan, the Conor McGregor moment. For me, I'm not surprised. Because we all were fucking surprised. Like, wait a minute, like step in 10 days notice, like fighting, like this guy's supposed to run right through him. Next thing you know, he's gassed. He didn't beat Nate up, and like next thing you know, he's getting choked the fuck out, tapping. Like, hey, and to get on the mic, I'm not surprised. I mean, like,
so he said it so nonchalantly as well.
He wasn't surprised.
He hit him with like the Westbrook.
Yeah. Before the Westbrook.
I'm not surprised, motherfucker.
But you know what? Here's why I don't think it'll happen in MMA, right? So Jake Paul is offering $10 million for Nate to fight in the PFL. And they can co-promote with Nate's Real Fighting Inc. But here's why I don't think it'll happen. One, because Nate was very vocal all week leading up to this fight that he wants to go back to the UFC, that he's going back to the UFC. And he was speaking highly of the UFC, which was weird. Like, you would expect him to be like, I'm happy to get out of there. But he was like, I want to get out, do my thing. He's like, but they treated me good over there and I have fun. He said he wants to come back, period, point blank. But here is where I think the problem will be, right? So, of course, they want to set up UFC 300 between him and McGregor, right? For the trilogy. Like, that would be a massive, massive fight. But I don't think that Dana... Now this is where like the Dana White versus Francis Ngannou, PFL, Jake Paul shit comes in. I don't think that Dana will sign him back if he goes over and gives that money to PFL. Because the eyes are going to go. Like I've talked about this with you guys before. Francis Ngannou, there's going to be very small pay-per-view numbers. Nate Diaz is sells pay-per-views. Everybody's going to stop and watch Nate versus Jake in the PFL on pay-per-view. And I feel like, as we've seen, Dana is Mr. fucking petty. Like, I feel like he would be like, hey, if you want to go over there, that's your one-time deal. Go ahead and go over there. Or you can come over here, make 20, 30 mil in the fight against McGregor. Pick or choose what you want to do. I don't think that he's going to let him come back if Nate. And Jake said that he wouldn't be ready for like another 9 months or whatever. He still wants to train some more MMA and learn kicks, blah, 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 blah. I just don't think that Dana will let him. What do you think?
100% Dana lets him, because at the end of the day, as we know, no matter what, Nate is a cash cow. You know what I mean? And for Nate to go in one fight, do 10 mil plus co-promote, so he's getting 10 mil off the jump plus promotion rights on it as well. The royalties on that, the copyrights on that, Nate would be a fool, because I think Nate 100% can go fight Jake Paul in PFL and then come back if he desires to the UFC. Dana White is petty, but he ain't stupid.
But here's what I'm saying. I don't, if he goes over there and he loses to Jake Paul in the PFL, I just don't see Dana being like, yeah, let's book him against Conor. I just don't see it.
It doesn't matter. It's Nate Diaz. No one ever expects him to win any fight that he's in now. And that's not a hot take. That's keeping it 1,000. No one ever expects him to win. We're showing up just for the spectacle of Nate Diaz, right?
Yeah.
Even at this point, we know the spectacle. We know what we're going to get. We're going to get the trash talking, stalk, and slap, and the birds. Like, we know that's coming.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. If I'm Nate Diaz, I'm Nate Diaz's team. I 100% go fight Jake Paul, win, lose, or draw. It doesn't matter. And then I know I can still go back to UFC because everyone's still going to pay to watch Nate versus Conor. It's not like Conor out here just starching the fuck out of people. You know what I mean? All he is rocking that Jamba Juice. So,
we'll see. We will definitely see. I don't think it's going to happen. I think then they're going to be like, come back over here to death row.
Shout out to Suge.
Hey, shout out to Suge. Speaking of this weekend, so as the fight was going on, after Jake Paul and Nate were last, but UFC was on earlier in the day. And let me tell you, if y'all weren't watching the fights, if y'all weren't watching these prelims, go back and run them. And I know a lot of these went to decisions, but when you're watching the fights, they don't feel like, oh man, it's taking forever. Oh man, nothing's happening like the main event. We're going to get to the main event. Let me tell you right now, the first thing you need to do, go back and watch Cody Durden versus Jack Hadley, the second round. some of the most exciting jiu-jitsu that I've seen in a long time. My recent memory tells me like most exciting jiu-jitsu would have been Diego Lopez, who's also on this card, versus Imanov in November at the 287 card, I think. And then before that, I remember Arena Aldana versus Macy Chiasa or whatever her name is. They had a really good grappling exchange. But this was top tier.
I think this was the best grappling exchange since what's your boy who just lost at 155? The Womanizer.
Who?
The Womanizer. The dude who hates women, who was like on a 8-9 fight streak. I can't think of his name. It's eluding me. Your boy. Your boy. He just got fucked up by Charles.
Oh, Beneil Dariush.
Yeah, when he fought whatchamacallit?
Tony?
No. It wasn't Tony. It was before that, before Tony, where they would just had like an amazing grappling display.
Gamrot. Yeah.
Because they had a great grappling display. But this was top of the food. First and foremost, I just feel bad real fast. Let me give a shout out to O'Day. Hey. You know, because I knew I took a shit on him, but it was all in love and play. And then, call me a prophet because I predicted it was going to happen.
Hey, you know, it is what it is. He didn't take any damage, so he's still going to be able to, you know, fight again if that's what he chooses to do to turn it around. And I mean, it's a Kazakhstan, Russian.
Did you just say cock?
No. But you knew what you were gonna get. But yeah, shout out to O'Day. I'm not gonna lie, when he was walking out, even like one of my coworkers texted me and was like, "Dang, O'Day looks sleepy. Like he looks like he had very, very low energy." And I was like, maybe he didn't get a good sweat out. I don't know what it is. I think ultimately that wrestling style, it was tough. And the dude hit him with some nice shots too. So, you know, some days it's your day, some days it's not. But Sean Woodson versus Dennis Bazooka, or whatever it is. Shout out to Tayshaun Prince, aka Sean Woodson.
Shout out to Tayshaun Prince.
He was putting it on him and then decided, you know what, man? I'm a striker, but I'm about to out wrestle you and I'm about to pound him. Like, it was quite a good fight. But that Cody Durden second round with Jake Hadley starts off in the Anaconda, and I'm like,
deep.
I'm like, there's no way he gets out of this. It's over. It's over. Deep. And then next thing you know, Jake transitions out of that into one of the nastiest arm bars I've seen since Tony. Since Tony
did not tap.
And Cody was not, I'm talking belly down, arching up. The dude
full on.
Agony.
No, it reminded me of Tony's face. Tony's face when Tony was just in agony and he was just like, fucking take it. You know what? I've got two of them. I don't need another limb. I'm Gucci, Mike. Gucci.
Yeah. I mean, it was really good. Shout out Billy Q versus David Jackson. Another banger.
Billy Q do what Billy Q does, bro. It doesn't make any sense. You know he's gonna lose that first round. And then he just wakes the fuck up. It makes zero fucking sense.
Yeah.
But it just continuously happens. And shout out, because I think Jackson, it was his first fight in the UFC, right?
No. He's had plenty of fights in the UFC.
Okay.
Yeah. He's had plenty of fights. But you know, he's coaching my favorite coach, Saif Saud, and like, y'all want to hear some good, straightforward coaching, no BSing around? Listen to those corner mics, because Saif's gonna tell you. He was like, "Hey, you're fucking up. You're doing this. You're doing that. Get the fuck out there. Quit bullshitting. I mean, don't you ever may have body language like that. Like, go back and watch Saif.
Love it.
He will light you up." This fight right here, Jeremiah Wells versus Carlson Harris. Listen, Jeremiah was winning the whole fight. Almost subbed him out in the first round and in the second round. Almost subbed him out in the third round as well. Harris comes out of nowhere and subs him. Beautiful jiu-jitsu.
Great fight.
I mean,
great fight.
Let's keep going. Kyler Phillips versus Barcelos. They were in there banging the whole time.
Let me bang, bro.
Let me bang, bro. Ignacio versus Klein, another banger. Listen, just because it went to decision, them boys were out there banging. This fight, Tanner Bozer versus Kimura.
Hold on, before we go, that Ignacio fight was fucking crazy because Klein came out there and put it on that nigga in the first round. Like your boy Ignacio thought he was sweet, trying to use his reach, know. And your boy Klein said, "You know what? Like, shout out to fucking DC. I will eat one to give two." Like, crazy.
And it was a huge huge like height disadvantage, reach disadvantage. Your boy Klein was like, yeah, like he did what the shorter fighter is supposed to do, and it was absolutely amazing. The Tanner Bozer fight, I thought one person was going to go out every single minute. I was like, oh God, he's winning. Oh God, he's like, they were just in there rock'em sock'em, going absolutely insane. And then Diego Lopez just goes inside there, flying triangle, get him the fuck out of here.
Amazing. Amazing.
Once again, Diego is the same guy that almost came in and beat Imanov. And so that was a spectacular performance. I was excited to see him. And then we roll into Justin Jacoby taking on Kennedy. Another big...
Whoa. Kennedy, what's his last name again?
Nzechuku.
Okay, because you act like you wanted to not say it. I needed you to say it.
I didn't want to, but I needed to think of it. I'm like, yeah, it's Nzechuku. I can't look at it and read it. I just have to remember it.
Yeah.
That was a good fight. Sat him down with the jab. It was over.
He caught a stiff jab and literally took a seat. Boom.
I think it could have went a little bit longer, but I'm cool with it.
I've heard that before.
And then we roll into Jessica Andrade versus Tatiana Suarez. Suarez goes inside there and does what she does. Subs out Jessica. I feel bad for Jessica because I think she's on like a 3-fight losing streak or something like that right now. It might just be her time. She's the champion regardless, but it might just be her time in general. Maybe she's just not keeping it with them. And so at this point, I'm like, oh hell yeah. Like the main event's about to come up. Like this card is crazy. Like after two.
Can you hold on for a second? Yeah. I'm going to go take a nap because while you're talking about this boring ass fight, I'm just going to me and Uncle Dana can go out and grab some lunch.
Bruh. Stinker of all stinker. I'm telling you right now, the worst main event of 2023. The worst main event of 2023. It was horrible. And I've been going back and forth with y'all people in the comments about it because all the Captain Save-ums of Cory Sandhagen trying to come in and defend him. Listen, there's nothing to defend. We know who Cory Sandhagen is. We know what Cory's capable of. So us saying that this was a terrible fight, it was not entertaining. Shout out to him. A win is a win is a win. You got to get them wins. I understand that. But entertainment-wise, I'd rather watch a turtle fuck a cow. Like this was not entertaining.
It was awful. I would rather have Morgan Freeman talk me through masturbation than watch this fight again. And a win is not necessarily a win when you're Sandhagen, because as he's trying to break through and call for that title shot, this fight did nothing for him. This fight did zero for him. It didn't help him gain fans. It didn't help his stock with Uncle Dana, who pieced the fuck out during the match. Like literally, yeah, he got paid cool for that. But other than that, like he's not going to move up in the rankings at all. No, not one. He's going to be in the same place depending on Usman's fucking injury. Like they're going to be like, yeah, fight Usman again. Like we're not giving you anything for this.
Yeah, it wasn't entertaining at all. I understand, he said that he tore his tricep in the first round. Sounds good. Like I was going back and forth with people the other day. Brandon Moreno broke his right hand in the very first round versus Pantoja. Did anybody know that Brandon Moreno broke his hand from the first round? No, because motherfucker kept throwing it. Now, I understand every injury is different, but at the same time, that was your tricep, right? So you couldn't throw no elbows down there. You couldn't like he had 19 and a half minutes, 19:38 in control time out of a 25-minute fight, which that's like 79% of the time he was on top, right? He was in control. He threw 36 ground strikes and landed 24 out of 19 and a half minutes.
That sounds surprisingly familiar to myself. 19 minutes of control time with 19 strikes. That sounds about right.
Yeah. I mean, it was a stinker. But luckily, at this moment, Amanda Serrano was fighting Heather Hardy, I think her name is, I can't remember. And that on the boxing card, on the Jake Paul card. And that was a banger, Amanda.
Bro.
If y'all haven't watched Amanda Serrano, make sure y'all check her out. Like, she comes to fight. Like, it was a brawl. It was a nasty beating, but it was entertaining. I put Cory on mute. I stopped listening to the commentators. I know that Bisping and Cruz, I think, were going back and forth. I don't know because I stopped listening.
They were more entertaining than the fight.
Yeah.
You can tell they like don't like each other in real life.
They really don't.
But it's funny because they're really like the same fucking person. Like they both have this like arrogance about them, which is funny because I fuck with Cruz still, and I can't fucking stand the Bisping.
Yeah, Bisping's hard.
Pause. Didn't know y'all work that closely together, nigga. Shit.
Man. You know, Bisping, I feel like Bisping's extremely biased, especially when it comes to English fighters.
Facts.
I don't necessarily view Cruz as being biased. Like I don't recall hearing Cruz in a fight and being like, "Oh, he's being hella biased." Like I haven't heard that. Now I could be wrong, but I feel like he's pretty down the middle, dry, like just telling you exactly what's happening.
Cruz hates everybody. Like he hates everybody, or he'll shit on everybody about their technique or what they should be doing. Yeah. And I can respect that. You know what I mean? He is Coach Boone from shout out to Remember the Titans. Now I'm the same mean hard ass to every single body, white or black. Yeah, now.
Yep. So, but everything else on that card was absolutely amazing. It'll be interesting to see. I know Cory is getting surgery, so he'll be out. I think he's had for like 6 months or something. In 135, we have Sugar Sean taking on Aljamin Sterling next week, which we'll get to that next week. But if Aljo wins, he said he's going up to 145. If Sean wins, we'll see where the division ends up going. It'll be really interesting. But this weekend, we'll quickly just take a look at this card. I mean, it's nothing.
Do you really think that Aljo wants to go to 145? Like what is he going to do against Volk? What is he possibly going to do?
He's going to get smashed at 145. He's not going to have a good time at 145, but he wants to go there, I guess, to try for the double champ thing, and then also, to give Marab the opportunity to fight for the championship. But it's a terrible matchup. Him versus Volk, him versus anybody in the top 5 at 145. It's not a good. I mean, imagine him versus Arnold Allen.
Imagine him versus Ilya.
Yeah, I don't see that going well for him.
I can see him getting Arnold Allen. But to be fair, I don't rate Arnold Allen that high.
Yeah, I mean, but like I said, even him versus Yair and them nasty leg kicks.
Leg attack.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, and he's not going to be bigger than everybody because right now, like he's bigger than a lot of the guys at 135. So fair. It'll be interesting to see. But this weekend we got your boy RDA in the building versus Vicente Luque. We haven't seen Vicente. Guess what, you guys? Geoff Neal gave him brain damage, like actual brain bleeding. Did you hear that? Like that's why he's been gone so long. He literally had brain bleeding. That's how bad Geoff beat him.
I fuck with Vicente though. His fight against Wonder Boy, amazing.
And Nico Price. Both his fights versus Nico.
Damn, all I can do about Nico is fucking Robbie Lawler just beating the brakes off that nigga.
Powered him down mid-fight.
Hey, who put the plug on this nigga? Who put the plug on this nigga? Damn. It's like back in the day when you didn't have save on your video games, you tried to like leave it plugged in. Moms come in and just unplug the damn Nintendo. Oh my god! Cancel fucking Christmas, Mom.
God, or even if you were mad, like especially me as being the younger sibling, like if I was mad at my older sibling, I'm going for the court. I'm trying to pull the whole court out. I know y'all ain't saved it. Y'all in the middle of a game. Like, yeah.
You were a fucking terrorist. Sky, you were a emotional terrorist growing up. I just want you to know that.
Well, once again, I was the baby and they were picking on me. So it really wasn't my fault.
Who?
You can't even deny it.
Who picked on you?
All of you guys.
Who?
All 3 of y'all. Like what's his name? Bling Bling. Oh, come on, Cash Money, the main guy.
Oh, Birdman.
All 3 of y'all. Yeah, all 3 of y'all was picking on me.
Better put some respect on my name. I ain't never picked on you in life.
That's a lie. Anyways, y'all. That is such a lot.
Not all
The
big
thing-
brothers picks on their youngest sister.
It depends on what you're considering picking on. Like you picking me up and body slamming me while I'm just trying to sit here and eat cereal is picking on.
Me?
Oh no, who else could it be? The only person in the house that thought they were the Rock.
I'm gonna decline answering that.
Yeah, plead the fifth. So we got Cub Swanson in the house.
Shout out to Cub.
Yeah, Cub's still in the building. I don't know why they got this picture of Hakeem Adawadu like this, because like his body is super dark, like he did bodybuilding, and then like his face is light. It's like, you know, like the when the white dudes do the bodybuilding, they do like the body super dark.
Yeah.
What
Hey,
is that
real
about?
fast, how old is Cub? He's got to be 37, 38 by now, right?
Let's take a look, shall we?
We shall.
Cub Swanson. He's currently 39. Damn, he's getting up there.
Damn, pops.
Yeah, he's getting up there. Oh, yeah, he lost to Martinez. Oh, because he dropped down to 35. Remember, he tried to fight at 35, so now he's back at 45.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to make that cut at being 40 years old.
Yeah.
Shout out to the best physique in the UFC, Khalil Roundtree.
Yeah.
Even though I think Chris Dock is going to fuck him up.
Nah, Chris about to get worked.
You think so?
Chris going to be too slow for Khalil. That's what I think.
All he had to do
got
is survive
good boxing.
the first round.
Chris got good boxing, but I don't see him. I think he's going to be too slow. You know what I mean? Like, unless he been like chasing after suspects. I don't know.
Oh, man. The greatest show ever, Chasing After Suspects. Shout out to Chris Hansen and Dateline NBC. Y'all was doing the Lord's work.
The Lord's
work.
This fight right here, do not sleep on it. Yasmin Lucindo, she is with the bullshit. This is gonna be a strike. She's a striker. Striker's delight. That's gonna be good. I do know AJ Dobson. Jamie Pickett making his way back in here after getting manhandled by your boy
Bo.
Bo.
Bo knows.
Yeah, so it should be good.
Terrence McKinney stepping in on short notice.
Yeah, short notice after just getting subbed with his hand behind his back. What was it like? Only like 2 weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
He just try to make it the comeback. There's a lot of Contender Series people on here. I mean, I'm definitely going to be watching. It'll be a good fight. Keep your eye out on Jose Johnson. He's from Contender Series. Oh, by the way, Contender Series is out and happening now. I'm pretty sure that Jace did not watch today. I think he was at work. But
I did not.
Hey, Contender Series is where it's at. Them boys coming to kill. They on there trying to kill somebody.
So real fast before we get out of here, we got a few things to talk about. One, what do you think about the fighters who chose to disclose their pay?
Yes, very interesting. If you guys have not seen UFC 291, Utah gave the fighters the opportunity to disclose their pay or not. And inside the article, you guys can check it out on MMA Fighting. They wrote like a whole little article on it. But it says that the fighters, let me see. The commission wrote athletes had expressed valid concerns about their pay being revealed publicly, as it would negatively impact their individual ability to negotiate compensation or purse amounts for future events. So, if y'all recall, I know that like majority of the people like to shit on Uncle Dana, but Uncle Dana been telling y'all they don't want y'all to know how much they getting paid. They don't, and we just decided that Dana was just talking because he didn't want to pay him. But obviously, only 4 fighters. It was Bobby Green, Kevin Holland, Gabriel Bonfim, and CJ Vergara. Those are only 4 out of what? I think there was 30 people on the card that wanted their pay to be disclosed.
Your boy, Bonfim, how much did he get? Like 12 and 12?
Yeah, he's on the 12 and 12 because he's on his first contract. But one thing that I learned, and this is coming from the man himself, Ariel Helwani, that these amounts aren't actually like, so apparently the UFC has disclosed pay, like what they say you're getting paid, but 9 times out of 10, fighters are getting paid more than that. And I'm not talking about like sponsorships and all the rest of the shit. I'm talking about like there's like a contractually, this is what will show that you're paid, disclosed, but this is what you're actually being paid. I didn't know that was a thing, but Yeah. So like sometimes when you see these 12 and 12s, they might not actually be getting 12 and 12. They might be getting, 25 and
but
25.
we know, he ain't that Holland getting 300K. Hey, do we hear anything about Stephen Thompson getting paid or not getting paid?
I have not heard about it, and I was looking to see like if something will pop up about him, but I haven't seen anything about whether or not Wonder Boy got paid. I'm thinking because we haven't heard anything that he got paid.
Hopefully.
Because people would be, going to war for your boy. Oh, speaking of going to war for your boy, tell me you seen the Montgomery, Alabama clips.
What? Huh?
Have you been under a rock?
Perhaps.
OMG. You haven't. I wish I had a hat around here so I could throw it up as the bat signal. Okay, so in Alabama, Montgomery, Alabama, there was a river boat.
Oh, no. I saw that.
Okay.
I saw that. Shout out to World Star. I saw
Oh.
that. I was like, oh shit. Like people were getting the brakes beat off of them there. There was that white woman was getting the shit beat out of her for a second.
Did you see when the other crew came and the girl
Shirts
started
off,
fighting the white woman and threw her in the river?
Yes.
Did you see the guy swim over? He ended up going over there. Not only did he swim to the other side and start fighting, but he DDT'd somebody.
So I just saw a small reel today on how it started, where they like jumped the black dude.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I saw like on the World Star, they only had it where like the family pulled up, shirts off, clapping. Hey, you,
Yeah.
hey, you know what time it is, my nigga. Hey, yo, Omar's coming.
Omar's here.
Coming. Don't throw the bag out the window. You're going to get this work.
Hey, shout out to The Wire. I'm telling you, that stuff, like just watching the different angles and the different people and the dude with the chair, like I was just, the internet is undefeated. Like the memes and how quick they were, like people already got shirts, they already got, like it's crazy out here, and I know y'all like to act like race doesn't exist and I don't see color, but in that moment, just as black folks, not to say that anybody should be getting jumped, right? Nobody should be getting jumped. That's not what we're saying. But why are you laughing?
I'm just taking it in. Pause.
Pause for real. It was nice, in my opinion, right? It was just nice to see that somebody was getting jumped and other people came to their aid rather than just watching and recording.
That's fair. That is something that as a society we definitely need to work on is, people so quick to grab their phones. Cool. Glad it's documented, but I'm also fucking dying over here. Can y'all help a nigga out?
Facts. And we're talking about Alabama, one of the most racist. I will never be in Alabama. Like I'll never be in Alabama. I'll never be in Mississippi. Any of them real nasty Southern racist states. I have no business as a black queer person being there. Like, what do you want to do? Die? Like, no, thank you. To see that and just what they endure down there, so shout out to them. Shout out to the Black Avengers.
Shout out to Black Avengers. Wakanda's in the
Hey, where was Dricus?
Oh, Sky, stop it. Leave DDP alone.
Dricus, my African brother, where were you?
Shout out to whoever was in a comment on YouTube. Your name's eluding me right now. Who knew what this was? Yes. Shout out old school DDP from the WWE. It really like made my heart happy that people knew who, that symbol.
Hey, did you know that Diamond Dallas Page has like a whole yoga thing?
I did not.
Yeah, he has a whole like yoga series where like he helps, like obviously it's about like yoga, but he helps people, but like he's helped like a great amount of people who have like debilitating illnesses, like couldn't walk, was in chairs, assisting stuff like that, like through doing his yoga system, like because it's yoga, but like he does it in a way so that people feel more comfortable doing it and not like trying to be like, oh, Namre, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, like you guys should check it out. Doing yoga, stretching and stuff.
Shout out to DDP just stretching people out.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, that was Joker's Gallery. And shout out to Joker's Gallery. I think they typically go by like JGD documentaries. But yeah, that's who it shouted out about the DDP. But yeah, so we'll see. We'll see what's going on. Any other hot takes? Any other BS?
No, there's a couple of hot takes that we got from the internet, but I think I'm going to save them for next week because I don't want to have to re-ask them. You know what I mean? And by the way, out there, all you people in the comments, you know what I mean? Stop being fucking Twitter warriors. Stop being telephone tough guys. Yes. You want this smoke? Come and get it. Yes. Come and shoot your shot on the pod. We welcome it. We welcome it. Just bring it. Stop being afraid. You know what I mean? Shout out to everyone in the comments, but come on and talk face to face. You know what I mean? And really, let's see if you can articulate what you're really trying to say. For sure. I want it. I want all the smoke.
For sure. Like we say, like, and if you guys do come on here, like, we're not saying this in an intimidating way. Like, we're gonna respect you as a human being. It's just a friendly debate, about, we actually do want to hear your point of view about it, because typing is sometimes like, it's like you can't necessarily get your point across, but having an actual discussion, you'll be able to get your point across. Like, so yeah.
Or we see how much full of shit you are. Because in long format interviews, you can see through fucking politicians and all their fucking bullshit when they're not trying to hit you with a 2-second talking point. Nah, motherfucker, we got 2 hours to fill. Explain it to me like a 4-year-old. You know what I mean?
Explain it to me, or hit me with the Mitch.
Hit me, please. What?
Oh man, they never came out and said what the hell happened. I mean, we all just assumed it was a stroke, but they never like denied nor confirmed.
Well, I don't know. I think you have to be a human to have a stroke, and I'm pretty sure. Shout out to last week's episode if you haven't caught it already. I think he's a fucking scroll. Got to be 344 years old.
Hey, put age caps. We need age caps.
Fair.
But that's a whole nother different pod. But for tonight, I think that's our time, y'all. We will definitely be back next week going over UFC 292. Might have a special guest come in. A certain Sean O'Malley fan might pop his face inside of here. But until then, we are out. Peace.